Yo, what's going on, ladies? So in this video, I want to talk about the power of showing interest in men, right? So what do I mean by this? What am I talking about, right? What I'm saying here is that if you like a guy, right, you have to make sure that he knows you like him, right? So you're probably thinking, well, I do let a guy know I like him, but then, sometimes these guys, they're flaky or they don't get back to me or, I don't see him after we have sex. So the thing is, you're wondering, like, I am showing interest, but things still aren't happening for me, right? But see, what you have to understand is there are certain things that you might be doing that indicate to him that you might not be interested. So sometimes if you're interacting with a guy and you're trying to, go on dates with him and get to know him and stuff. Let's say, for example, you're supposed to go on a date with a guy on Friday. And let's say something happens or something comes up where you have to like flake on the date. You have to say, oh, I can't make it. Right? Now, let's say this is an emergency, you just really can't make it. So you might text them and say, hey, I'm so sorry, I can't make it. And then that's it. That's all you say. Right? So now he's thinking that you're not into him because you flaked. But you actually flaked because you had some sort of emergency or something you really had to take care of. Right? But you just said to him, oh, I'm so sorry, I can't make it. I got, something came up. It's an emergency, whatever. And then that was it. So he could be thinking that you're lying because he's thinking you don't want to see him, which is why you're flaking. That's what he thinks. But you actually are flaking for a legitimate reason. So in order for you to let him know that you actually want to see him, you have to set another day, have a counter offer. So you say, hey, I'm so sorry I can't make it on Friday. Something came up, but I'm free on Sunday evening or I'm free Monday afternoon. Can we do that? Right? So that's you showing him interest. That's you letting him know that you like him, that you actually want to see him. You see what I'm saying? Or sometimes what happens is, let's say, a guy texts you and, you take like way too long to text them back, or you say, oh, I'll get to that in a minute. And then you kind of forget or whatever, or you're texting some other dude and you forget about the other guy. So if 24 hours pass and a guy hasn't heard from you, he's going to think you don't like him. Right? And then so what happens is, a lot of times you might be doing certain things that makes these guys think you don't like them. And then what happens is that they end up keeping it moving. They end up, moving on to the next girl, because you have to understand that a man's ego won't allow him, in a lot of cases, to continue to try to get at you. So that means that if he feels that, oh, you might not be interested, he's going to sort of fall back, because he would rather fall back now than try to call you again or contact you again, and then for you to ignore him. He doesn't want to have to deal with that. So the thing is that you have to show interest. Now, when I'm saying show interest, I'm not talking about you calling a guy 10 times a day and acting needy and being that type of woman. I'm talking about just a simple back and forth exchange that shows that you're cooperating with him in a way where you want to actually see him and make things progress. Now, there are times when you're dealing with guys who, you'll show interest and they still will be all over the place and they'll ignore you or they'll do this. Those are the guys who aren't really into you anyway. But a guy who is into you, he wants to know that you're interested. And the way he knows that you're interested is if you are actually responsive and showing that you want to see him and interact with him. Because if he has any sort of idea or if he thinks that you might not be interested in him, then, he might keep it moving. Because again, he doesn't want to have to deal with that type of rejection. He doesn't want to have to deal with, trying to get with you and then nothing happening, or feeling like he's talking to a woman who's not really that interested. See, what a lot of you ladies don't understand is that a lot of guys go through situations where they're talking to women that they're really interested in, and then it just goes nowhere. The woman flakes, or she doesn't return the call, because a lot of times women will give out their numbers and never pick up the phone. A lot of times women will plan, a guy will plan a date with a woman and she will flake, or she won't, she just won't show up, or whatever it is. A guy might go on 1 or 2 dates with a girl he thinks is going great, and then she just ghosts him. So guys, they're feeling that feeling. They're like, damn, this sucks. So the thing is that if you really like a guy, you have to show interest. You have to be responsive to him. Because if you're responsive to him, that's going to show him that you're interested, and that's going to make him, keep wanting to be, involved with you. All right? So that's pretty much it. Listen, if you ladies have any questions, make sure you click the link below, send me a question, and also go to hewantsyou.com so you can get my free audio program, 7 Highly Effective Steps for Finding and Keeping a Man. And I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone.